May each of us find the courage to forgive, the grace to be forgiven, and the love to begin again. At this time, a few of us will come up and present little homilies about forgiveness and love. The first person who will be on the chancel will be Claire Smith, and they'll introduce themselves as they come up. After Claire, Rona, Emil, and then me.
I would like to talk about forgiveness not as a commandment, not as a moral duty, but as a human struggle. Forgiveness asks us to stand at a crossroads. On one side is pain, real pain from being wronged. On the other side is the possibility of release. And at that center of the crossroads lies compassion. Think of a literal crossroads, paths meeting in the middle, traffic pausing, choices to be made. We know what it feels like to stand there. Do I turn right? Do I turn left? Do I move forward? Do I stay put? Forgiveness feels like that, except the choice is not just about direction, but about how we carry our pain. When we are hurt, pain demands our attention. It says, something is broken, something is not right. And if we forgive too quickly, we skip over that truth. If we cling too tightly to the wound, we risk being trapped by it. And this is where compassion enters. Compassion doesn't erase the wrong. It broadens the view. It lets us see ourselves as more than just wounded. And sometimes, even if only for a moment, it lets us see the one who hurt us as human. Not excused, not justified, just human. In the Jewish tradition, this is the work of the High Holy Days. Forgiveness is never automatic. It requires truth-telling, making amends, turning toward a better way. That wisdom reminds us compassion isn't soft, it's brave. In the Buddhist tradition, cultivating compassion is the main goal of spiritual work. And in the Christian tradition, compassion is love in action, agape. The New Testament links compassion with love, mercy, and care for our neighbors, and teaches that true compassion shows itself in deeds, not only in words. But compassion also looks inward, because we all know what it is to fall short, to say the wrong word, to fail someone we care about, to live with regret. And sometimes forgiving others begins with forgiving ourselves, with recognizing that we too are more than our mistakes. The philosopher Hannah Arendt said that forgiveness is the only way to release ourselves from the consequences of the past. Otherwise, she wrote, we remain trapped forever in what has already been done. And here is where compassion comes in again. Compassion is the doorway through which forgiveness walks. Without compassion, forgiveness is hollow. With compassion, forgiveness, even if incomplete, can feel like freedom. So what does this mean for us? It means that the next time resentment takes hold, we might pause, we might breathe, and ask, what would compassion look like here? Sometimes compassion opens the door to reconciliation. Sometimes it just lets us set down the burden of the weight of bitterness. Both are holy and both are healing. Our Unitarian Universalist faith calls us to affirm the worth and dignity of every person. It calls us to honor the web of life that connects us all. Forgiveness through compassion is one way we live into that calling, by refusing to let pain have the final word, by opening ourselves again and again to the possibility of healing. And here's the truth. Forgiveness doesn't always happen in one dramatic moment. It happens in small choices repeated over time, like mending a frayed thread, stitch by stitch, or learning to carry a heavy stone until one day you realize you've set it down. So may compassion guide us in our pain, in our forgiveness, and in our return to one another.
Good morning, I'm Rona Solomon. So my husband John is disturbed by meditation instructions that ask you to breathe in something good like relaxation and breathe out your tension or your anger or your hate. Does the long-suffering atmosphere really need more bad feelings? Why can't we be like the Unitarian Universalist hymn and breathe in love and breathe out peace? Similarly, each year when the high holidays came around, my mom would take exception to tashlik, the practice of tossing our sins on the water in the form of bread. She would wonder, what do fish want with our meanness? What do they want with our worst instincts? She'd call it poisoning the fish. One year, I took my negativity bread to Silver Lake. As soon as the first crumb hit the water, 4 turtles swam to the surface. First, they chased after my selfishness, but they were soon distracted by my inattentiveness and my emotional dishonesty. Was that Raphael or Michelangelo deep diving for my stiff-necked pride? Finally, all 4 ninja turtles speed swam to fight for a piece of my rage. These are the lessons I took from this year's high holiday services. Though we are all broken differently. It is in congregation, team, sangha, that we feel the broken pieces of each other. Together is one way that we can complete creation, tikkun olam. The Torah is full of stories of failures, bad decisions, missing the mark. And we continue to address the consequences of our failures. Our failures are the design material of our lives. Although the rituals of the new year repeat and repeat like the cycle of the seasons, like the round challah we bless at the beginning of Rosh Hashanah, and the round bagels we eat to break the fast of Yom Kippur, our behavior does not have to be the same as last year's or even yesterday's. Our reinvention is not one and done. It's every day, every hour, every minute. Holiness is not born of perfection, but of generosity. Oh, and now, this year, for the first time, woke Jews cast dark leafy greens upon the water. It turns out the croutons de sin really were poisoning the fish. Who knew? Right.
morning again. I'm Emil Kessler. In this season of the Jewish New Year, I've been asked to say a few words about the subject of regret or forgiveness. This is what I can offer. I ended up pursuing a career in the insurance business that I actually never chose for myself. I successfully studied the subject of insurance at a college I actually did not choose for myself. I really should have honored my own aspirations to be immersed in the world of literature as a teacher and as a writer. That being said, I have to measure those regrets against the bountiful life I have led as a community activist and as a family man. The proud father of my two amazing children who have families of their own, and being the lucky recipient of the abiding love from two wonderful mates and partners in my life. My first wife of 44 years, Gloria, who passed away from ovarian cancer at a very young age, and my current wife and life partner, Barbara, who I adore. The point is that I have chosen to concentrate my attention on the blessings in my life and cast regrets aside.
This is very tiny print for me. I brought the wrong copy, so if I mess up, please be tolerant. This is the season when many of our Jewish siblings turn inward, examining the year past, seeking forgiveness and offering it in turn. Forgiveness is not about pretending harm never happened, nor about excusing what was done. In Judaism, forgiveness is part of teshuvah, a turning or returning to one's true self and to right relationships with others. Unitarian Universalism teaches something very similar, that we are all connected in a web of relationship, and when that web is torn, it longs to be mended. Forgiveness is one way of weaving those strands back together. But forgiveness is not cheap. It does not erase accountability. In fact, genuine forgiveness requires honesty, the naming of what was broken, the offering of amends, the risk of reconciliation. Sometimes forgiveness is offered, sometimes withheld, sometimes delayed until healing makes it possible. All of these can be faithful responses. Perhaps forgiveness is best understood not as a single act, but as practice. Each time we release the grip of resentment, even a little, we create room for compassion, for freedom, for possibility. Forgiveness opens a path forward where bitterness will keep us stuck in the past. As the Jewish prayer says, for the wrongs we have done knowingly or unknowingly, forgive us. And as our UU faith reminds us, each new day brings another chance to begin again. So may we forgive where we can, seek forgiveness where we must, and return again and again to the work of repairing the world and our own hearts. Thanks. Come on, Claire. Boca Helping Hands is our Share the Plate today. Provides food, job training, access to health care, and financial assistance to help individuals and families improve their quality of life and build financial stability. As a treat for our offertory, we are going to play Jacquie's video again. Thank you.